Shalom. Call law Yahweh Shem Shai by Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone that rule and teach well, that taught us this truth, the 100% truth, to the Akim on the four corners of the earth, risking their lives each and every week on the highways and the byways, and to the brothers and sisters tuning in for edification, coming with another lesson. And this lesson will be entitled, Your Trust Should Only Be in the Lord. And the reason why I'll say your trust should be only in the Lord is because things is about to get crazy, you know what I'm saying, out here. The decisions you make, pretty much, you got to make the right decisions. And those decisions need to be with Yahweh Shem Shai, you know, at the forefront of whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? Your trust shall only be in Yahweh Shem Shai, not in this system, not in this world, you know. And we about to go through some things, you know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking, you know, for everyone, you know. We're going to have to deal with the suffering, you know what I'm saying? And deal with it, you know. And, you know, that goes for the Akims, all the Akims, but also that go for these 2/3 niggas and, you know, the rest of the other nations, you know what I'm saying? Because these people are bugged out, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, especially our people, all they worry about is putting their trust in man, you know what I'm saying? They put their trust in Esau instead of putting their trust in Yahweh Shem Shai. And I'm speaking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You don't want to put your trust in Yahweh Shem Shai, you know. Your trust is only in the so-called white man. And whatever he say do, that's what you do. And that's why you niggas, especially the nigga one, is feeling it right now, you know what I'm saying? She dealing with, you know, rent is going up, you know, high. You know what I'm saying? They're getting rid of Section 8, you know. And hey, you the one, you know, wanted to you know, accept your daddy Esau, you know. That's what you do. And and you got to deal with the consequences, you know what I'm saying? You put your trust in the system, the government, your daddy, you know. But that's why the elect is putting their trust in Yahweh Shem Shai. And that's the hopeful elect, you know. And the only one that's going to guide us through this is Yahweh Shem Shai. And we're praying, you know what I'm saying, each and every day. You know, Yahweh Shem Shai get us through this situation. And the things that's about to pop off, the things that we're about to deal with, to go through, you know what I'm saying? Like famine, you know what I'm saying, death. Because some brothers are going to be marred. They're going to be, you know, put to death, you know what I'm saying? The concentration camps, you know what I'm saying? So all kind of, you know, madness is about to pop off in Babylon the Great, you know what I'm saying? And wanted to start off with, you know, this is account about Paul when he went through, you know, things, you know what I'm saying, that he dealt with. And not only that he dealt with it, we're going to deal with it too, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be in a different situation, but we're going to deal with it. You know, we're going to go through things, you know what I'm saying? And Paul went through a lot. Apostle Paul, you know what I'm saying? Slakia. Yeah, Apostle Paul went through a lot, you know? So, let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 23. Are they minister of a Mashiach? Yahweh Shai, I am more in labors more abundant, and stripes above measure, and prisons more frequent, and deaths off. Of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Thrice was I beaten with rods, once was I stoned, thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep, and journeying often in perils of waters, in perils of robbers, in perils by my own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among the false brethren, and in weariness and painfulness, in watchings, often in hunger and thirst, in fasting, often in cold and nakedness, beside those things that are without, that which come upon me daily, the care of all the churches. Yeah, so, Apostle Paul went through a lot, you know what I'm saying? The things that he went through, you know what I'm saying? Not only him went through it, but Yahushua as well, So, and Yahushua was beaten by stripes of men, went through nothing but torment, but he had to keep his integrity, you know what I'm saying? Why? Because he had to fulfill prophecy, you know what I'm saying? He was sent to do the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. That's who he was sent for, to do the will. And when you come in this truth, you have to count the cost, man. Because there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to deal with, you know what I'm saying? So you have to put off the cares of this world, because you might lose a lot of things in this world. And which you will, you know what I'm saying? You're going to go through a lot of suffering, But through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai, he'll get you through that, you know what I'm saying? So there's going to be certain experience that you're going to face, you know what I'm saying, with this walk. But these people in this world, they're not going to deal with that. They're not going to even understand or know, the suffering that you're going through, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to have people come in this truth and fall out as well, you know what I'm saying? Because this is a marathon, you know what I'm saying? It's not a 100-yard dash, And it's a fight, you know what I'm saying? And one of the biggest things you have to do is go to Yahweh Shem Shai and pray, you know what I'm saying? Because without prayer, that's one of the main things, praying to Yahweh Shem Shai to keep on guiding you, to strengthen you, to keep on pushing you through, different situations and difficult times that you might face. And you never know. That's going to be on a weekly basis or a daily basis that you have to, ask Yahweh Shem Shai, have mercy on me, keep the spirit on me, like King David, Psalms 51:11, you know what I'm saying? So it's important that, you know what I'm saying? And in this truth, you never want to feel comfortable anyway, man, and that's a good thing. So the task is not easy, man, you know what I'm saying? You have to put in the work, you know what I'm saying? And that requires a lot of time, you know what I'm saying? And this journey is not going to be easy, So that's why you have to treat this truth, you know what I'm saying, like a treasure, a precious rubies, you know what I'm saying? Because the Most High has blessed us with the highest of degree, you know what I'm saying? This is the highest degree, you know what I'm saying? When you go in this world, you get a PhD, which is the highest, you know what I'm saying? It might be, or a doctorate, next might be higher than that. But nah, this trump all that, you know what I'm saying? This is the highest degree. And that's through, thanking Yahweh Shem Shai. Putting that on the spirits of the head apostles, teaching this truth, you know what I'm saying? So it's important. And that's why I say you have to count the cost, because this truth comes with a price, you know what I'm saying? You have to put in the work, but also you have to stay humble as time go on, you know what I'm saying? So you don't want to thinking that you're doing things and you're getting an understanding from yourself. No. You want to get that understanding from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So that's why I said you got to put the trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So let me go to Proverbs 3 and 5, you know what I'm saying? Like he said. And Proverbs 3 and 5, trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. Yeah. And this is what most people do in this world, you know? They lean on their own understanding. And that's where they go wrong, you know what I'm saying? Because in this truth, you know what I'm saying, when you're in public, you know what I'm saying, you have to put on a persona that you have to be like that saying, like Clark Kent, you know what I'm saying, like Superman. You have to disguise yourself because you don't want to, you don't want nobody else know, you know, that you're in the truth and you're receiving nothing but the truth, and you know what's going on with this shady, you know, spectacle world. So, you know, you want to put your trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You don't want other people to know that. You don't want to even talk about the truth exactly, not around these people, you know what I'm saying? So what you do is you separate yourself from this place through the spirit, you know what I'm saying? You know, join hand in hand with the wicked, you know what I'm saying? The wicked won't be unpunished. So in this world, you want to do that. You want to separate yourself, you know? So and then you want this truth to line up with the ways of how you live, you know what I'm saying? You know? And you don't want nobody to know that, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say you come, when you out in the public, you like Clark Kent, you know what I'm saying? Like Superman, you know? And that's why the main thing is trust in the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and lean not on your own understanding. Because when you do that, when you lean on your own understanding, you're going to find yourself, you know, going off, you know. And that's what most people in this world do, Salaki. They lean on their own understanding because their emotions get, you know, the best of them, especially when you tell them what really the truth is about, what really this Bible is talking about, you know what I'm saying? When they ask you questions, you tell them no, you know. Only Israel can be saved. You know what I'm saying? You try the spirit by the spirit, you know? And like Romans 8 and 16, you know? The spirit bear witness, you know what I'm saying? We are the children of the Most High. So, paraphrasing. So, you don't want to lean on your own understanding. You want to receive that spirit through Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Verse 6. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he should direct thy paths. Yeah. And in this world, if you don't follow what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai say do, then your path is going to be shaky, you know what I'm saying? You know? And that's why we say don't lean on your own understanding. So you have to acknowledge the Most High in everything you do, and he will direct your path, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the Most High is running things, not you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you have to glorify Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, no matter what you do, through good times or bad times. And that's why I said you have to deal with the suffering that you're going to deal with in this truth, because that's only going to build your faith up. You know. So this is going to be, you know, a quick lesson, you know, through the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And I hope this is going to be edifying, you know, because it's all about, you know what I'm saying, trusting in the Lord, you know what I'm saying. Don't trust in this world, because you see what's going on now. These people is panicking. These people is bugging out. These people is tripping, you know, about losing their jobs. I don't know what I'm going to do, you know what I'm saying, because what they're doing is, especially our people, they're trying to succeed in this world. They're trying to make it in this world. Don't try to make it in this world, you know what I'm saying? You know? Because you'll be a fool to do that. You'll be a fool to try to trust this place and put your trust in Esau, Edom, so-called white man. This is his establishment. This is his kingdom. Don't put your trust in that. put your trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna close out with this next scripture, Proverbs chapter 28, verse 26, and I'm gonna close on out. He that trusts in his own heart is a fool, but who walk wisely, he should be delivered. Yeah. So, in this truth, if you have, if you walking wisely, you're gonna put your trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You're not gonna put your trust in this world. You know what I'm saying? Because then you're a fool, and that's what most people do here. You know what I'm saying? Especially 2/3 of our people. They're fools because they're trusting the system. They're trusting what's going on in this world, and now they're seeing that it's collapsing. This place is going down, and now they don't know what to do because the prophets, the Akim has been on the four corners, shit, back since the 70s. You know what I'm saying? So there's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuse. They got time to repent, Acts 3:19, and come back to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, but they refuse to. You know what I'm saying? They refuse to do that. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna have to deal with the consequences. You know what I'm saying? Let me read that back again. Proverbs 28, verse 26. And he that trusts in his own heart is a fool, but whose walk wisely, he should be delivered. Yeah. So, because if you ask for advice from people in this world, they're going to lead you in the wrong way. They're going to lead you down the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we say, don't trust in this world. Don't trust in the system. So the most important thing to do is put your trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So I hope this was edifying. I want to close out and leave it at that. I want to say, call all Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Rukakadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone that rule and teach well, to the Akim on the four corners of this earth, teaching his truth, risking their lives each and every day. And to the brothers and sisters tuning in for edification, it's your brother Dawa come with another lesson. And like I say again, your trust should only be in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Shalom.